My brothers and sisters, you are now watching the Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video.
People have been trying to get me into it, especially some guy that I'm not going to name in this video. This is me literally during Nintendo's entire press conference. And when I tell you, my eyes were literally like glued. Like, this is a franchise that a lot of people love, you know, so it's a thing. I just kind of found it funny because it wasn't like an official announcement. Dude came all the way to E3, flew out all the way to LA to say, hey, so you gonna support this Kickstarter for
Next generation
and the troll himself, Reggie, like you see Muppets of them and they're like walking down the hallway like, do you think people really care? But it was like, and the thing that made it so hilarious is he was so enthusiastic about Disney Infinity Stone. I could not be a Wii U owner after this. I would go straight to GameStop and I'd be like, I want my refund now. He was like, and only for you PlayStation owners, you guys get exclusive access to the Disney Infinity Bag. And it was like, the way he was talking, you would have thought this man was talking about like Uncharted 5. Sucker, this is Disney Infinity. Who cares? But he was like, only you.
Well, all right. I don't know if y'all remember, like back in the day, and maybe some games today, but like remember during like cutscenes and with whatever they were saying at that moment, like their mouth would not be synced up to like with what they were saying. Like I remember playing Bloody Roar Primal Fury, one of my favorite fighting games of all time. During the cutscenes, especially if they were laughing, like they would like laugh, but like their mouth would just be like, I don't know why it just came to my mind, but that's besides the point. Okay, it is an important time right now if you are a gamer. Okay, you know why? Because E3 2016 is right. Oh god dang! Sucker, I still remember E3 2015 as if it was yesterday. Out this sucker being trapped in a hotel room doing vids on E3 for Sony. Sony was dropping bombs. Microsoft was doing their own thing. Nintendo. Well, Nintendo. It is so hard to be a Nintendo fan, bro. If you are a Nintendo fan out there, I salute to you because it is too. I could not be a Nintendo fan today, but I remember doing all that stuff last year with scabies and everything and stuff. Just a great time, man. Good time, really good times. But E3 2016 is literally right around the corner, dude. Already. God dang. But so people wanted me to do my predictions for this year's E3. I was going to do those regardless, you know, but so I will be doing my predictions of what I think we might see at this year's E3. Okay, as always, you guys can leave your predictions down in the comments below, and then we can all debate on what will and what will not. Am I preaching out there? But what will and what will not be at this year's E3 for 2016? There's a lot of rumors going around right now. Some stuff that I'm not get into. But there's a lot of rumors going around right now. So I will be doing my predictions for Microsoft, Sony, and heck, even Nintendo. Because why the heck not, you know? But so here will be my predictions for this year's E3 2016. All right, so starting off, let's kick it off. with Microsoft. Right. And yes, that did rhyme. But Microsoft, I did write down a couple of things, but to be honest with you, I have to be real. I really don't know what to expect from Microsoft, this year going into E3. I don't really know what direction they're trying to go in, going into the second half of this year, going into the holiday season, going into the start of next year. I don't know really where Microsoft's mindset is right now, but I did write down a couple of things I think we might see during their conference. So let's begin, shall we? Yes, we shall. A possible Xbox One Slim. Just like you got the whole, stuff about the PS4.5, PS4 Neo, PS4K, whatever you want to call it. There's also rumors out there of a possible Xbox One Slim. Now, we don't know if it's just going to be a slimmer version of the Xbox One and nothing will change, or if they're going to take the same route as Sony to where they're going to release a new system with improved hardware to it. I think I don't really know what they're going to do with that, but I think it is possible to see a new model for the Xbox One. I think the Xbox One today is currently priced at $299, so and you have to remember, like, when the Xbox One first came out, it was $500. Now, granted, it was with the Connect, but the Xbox One, you can now get an Xbox One for the same price as the Wii U, so if they do come out with a new model of the Xbox One, I think that one will be priced at like $350, max $400, and the current Xbox One you see today will stay priced at $299. But I definitely think it is a possibility of an Xbox One Slim, being at this year's E3, so we'll have to wait and see for that. Gears of War 4. I think they're going to show Gears. When you think Xbox, you still think Gears and Halo, so I definitely think they will show some new gameplay, some single-player gameplay for Gears of War 4. I think the gameplay they showed at last year's E3 wasn't all that impressive, because you couldn't, for one, you couldn't really see, like, what was really going on because it was, like, so dark. And I just think, like, if you want to really get, like, more people, like, really excited for Gears, because, like, I don't really feel like right now, like, people know that Gears of War 4 is a thing, but there's really that same excitement for Gears is just not there. Like, it's just not there. People know Gears of War 4 is a thing, but I just don't feel the excitement this time around, So I think at this year's E3, they're going to show some new gameplay for the single player for Gears of War 4. And I think that could be a good thing. So we'll have to wait and see for that. They just had a beta for the Gears of War 4 online. It wasn't too bad to me, but I wasn't really like, oh my god, So I think, with this one, they'll have a better showcase of Gears of War 4, what's new, what's different, stuff like that, and show some new gameplay for that. Scalebound. Scalebound is a game that it could really be a good new IP for the Xbox One. The gameplay I think we've seen at last year's E3 was a PowerPoint presentation. Sucker, frame rate drops everywhere out this. I'm like, what the freak is this? A freaking slideshow bound, not scale bound, PowerPoint bound. I know it's been delayed, unfortunately, until next year, but I definitely think we'll see some new gameplay for Scalebound. Hopefully this time around it's not a slideshow, but I definitely think, like, that could be a great title for the Xbox One. There's also rumors of it going to be on PC. Shoot, it's a possibility. These days with the Xbox One, it is definitely a possibility, but hopefully we can see some new gameplay for Scalebound, because that's definitely a title that got my interest last year, despite the frame rate drops. Crackdown 3, I think is it supposed to come out this year or no? I'm not sure. I think it's supposed to come out this year. I think. Don't hold my word to that. I don't know if it's been delayed, because delays happen like when I'm sleeping, but Crackdown 3, I think we'll see some gameplay for that, and it will have a release date for that game. Crackdown 3 is one of those titles to where it's not really like a huge exclusive for Xbox. Like, I don't think no one says, "Oh my gosh, I have to buy an Xbox for Crackdown." You know, it's not one of those titles. It's like one of those, like, it's not like it's not a triple A title. It's like a I'm about to make my own thing. It's like a triple B title. You know, it's not a triple A, it's a triple B title, you know. And Crackdown 3 is definitely, I remember playing the first Crackdown on Xbox 360. I definitely thought it was a fun game. It was real chaotic and the gameplay is fun and stuff like that. I love the art style of Crackdown. So hopefully at this year's E3 we'll get a release date and some gameplay for Crackdown 3, you know, with the power of DX12 and the power of the cloud, you know. We'll see some new stuff for Crackdown and a release date for Crackdown 3. Possibly some Recore gameplay. Recore is another game I think that got delayed till next year. But Recore is this game that with the trailer, it piqued a lot of people's interest. Hopefully we can see some actual gameplay over. Have they shown gameplay for Recore yet? I don't know, but it's definitely another title for the Xbox One that it could be a good new IP for the Xbox One, you know. So hopefully, despite it, you know, dropping next year, they'll show some gameplay for Recore. Oh yeah, this is Xbox we are talking about, so expect something Forza related. Something Forza will be at this conference, you know, some stuff for Forza, you know, possibly some like DLC or whatever, or possibly a new title, you know, who knows, but something Forza will be there, you know. Rare Sea of Thieves, that is a game that I also like. I really want to see more of that game, Sea of Thieves. It looks like another title, you know, that could be, you know, a really good title for the Xbox One. So I definitely want to see some of that, you know, some new IPs. We all know the Xbox, you know, needs new IPs, you know. Still today, I mean, yes, they've had new IPs, but still for the most part, when you think Xbox One, you still think two titles, Gears and Halo. And if you don't have interest for none of those titles, what are you really buying an Xbox One for? You know, I don't think, and this is not just Xbox, this is PlayStation as well. Like, PlayStation has had like maybe like 2 or 3 like really good new IPs, but for the most part, the new IPs this gen haven't really done all too well. So I think like Microsoft, they really could use some really good new some new IPs that, you know, could be thrown in the conversation to where when you're talking about Xbox, it's not just Gears and Halo and Forza. You put, you know, that new IP in there, you know. But so that Halo Wars 2, I think that's going to be at this. Now I'm not a huge fan of. I never played the Halo. I've never played those, but I'm not a fan of RTS games. So I never really got into Halo Wars 2 because I just don't like real-time strategy games, you know. But I think that will be at this year's E3 for them. But that's really all I have written down for Microsoft. Again, I don't really know what to expect from Microsoft this year, and maybe that's a good thing, you know. Maybe they might catch us off guard and be like, bam, you know, and they might be like, God dang, Microsoft, okay, I see you. Excuse me, I underestimated y'all suckers, you know. So I think it could be a good thing that I don't really know what to expect, you know, from them this year at E3, but that's all the stuff that I wrote down of what I think could be at their conference this year. So let's move on to Sony. All right, now Sony, is egotistical the word? I don't think they're really, well, you have to be somewhat egotistical if you're dominating this generation of games the way that they are, you know. So we all know with Sony, at every E3, they always talk about the success of the PS4, and they get into the sales and, oh yeah, we're at like 50 million sold like worldwide already. Still, like I've said before, the PS4 is a good console, but the way this junk is selling, you would think this junk is on the same level of quality as the PS2. The way this junk is selling, I don't know how. I don't know how the PS4 is selling this well, because you would think this junk has like all the games, the best online, best everything. But when you really get to like the root of it, there's really not that much of a difference between the PS4 and Xbox One. But yet they're selling a lot, you know. But and again, I think that's because of, you know, the start of this gen and how Microsoft got off to a bad start. Microsoft was they was kind of feeling themselves a little bit too much, you know, and I think that, you know, backfired on them. But I think Sony, of course, is going to talk about the sales of the PS4 and how well it's doing and thank the fans and stuff like that and talk the numbers and sales and figures and stuff like that, you know. But they need to come out because, again, they have been quiet on this thing since this thing became a rumor. And I think because they stayed quiet, it makes it true because they haven't said nothing about it yet. They have to come clean about this whole PS4 Neo, PS4K, PS4.5. Y'all need to give us suckers the whole rundown. I don't know what this thing is. How much is it going to be? If the people that bought the peasant station 4 will be able to trade in our old one towards a discount towards the master race station 4, the true greatness awaits station 4, you know, because I mean, again, like a lot of people are saying, well, you don't have to buy the PS4.5. I mean, you do know. I mean, you do know that, right? Of course, they know you don't particularly have to buy it, but a lot of people, especially if you just bought a PS4 and then you hear a better, more stronger version of the PS4 is coming out, you're going to feel a little robbed out this sucker, you know. So I think Sony, they have to come clean. They have to give us the whole rundown. They've been quiet long enough for this PS4 4.5 thing. How much is it going to cost? The whole what's the junk called? Oh yeah, Neo mode. You know, and how that's going to work and stuff like that. Give us the full rundown of that. I think that might be like the first thing they get into, possibly. You know, Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn. This is a game. This is another one of the few new IPs, you know, that PlayStation has. I really cannot wait to play. This junk is hands down one of my most anticipated games of this year if it doesn't get delayed. You know, again, you can't really know because delays this gen have been the norm. Like, games get delayed literally every day, you know. So, but Horizon Zero Dawn, hopefully we get an official release date of when this comes out this year and some new gameplay for that, because that is definitely in my top 5 games that I cannot wait to play this. You know, well, going into this year, this was one of my top 5 games, you know. So Horizon Zero Dawn, some new gameplay for that, hopefully some a release date for that game. Last Guardian. So, let me ask y'all a question right now and be real with me. Be honest. Does anyone out there still really care for The Last Guardian? Serious question. A serious question. Last Guardian is supposed to come out this year. we were told it's supposed to come out this year, but hopefully we get a release date for this game and some new gameplay for The Last Guardian. The Last Guardian, I'm not hyped for this game at all. I can't be hyped for a game that was supposed to come out like in the freaking 1960s. We're still waiting for the game today. But it's definitely, this game needs to have an official release date, because I think the people that are still excited for this game, they've been waiting long enough. So that God of War 4 reveal, I think they will reveal God of War 4. Again, with the whole God of War thing, I don't know what else you could do. Like, because I don't think people want to play as like a new guy. I just don't see how Kratos can be replaced. You know, there are rumors out there that like you might be playing with a female. I don't think people will like that. And this is not to get sexist, but I just don't think people will like to go from a OG like Kratos to playing with like, you know, a female. But there's like a lot of rumors going on with like God of War 4, but I just don't know like where they could take it, you know. But I do think a God of War 4 reveal will be at this year's E3. They will, you know, do like a little, you know, trailer for it, you know, but it won't come out till like maybe like 2017, maybe 2018, you know. But I do think that God of War 4 will be revealed at this year's E3, probably 2018. It probably will come out, maybe. Who knows? But God of War 4, Square Enix, I swear I will choke you to death. If y'all suckers do not give us a release date for Kingdom Hearts, fill me with the power of darkness. Supreme Kingdom Hearts 3, this junk needs a goddamn release date. Now again, I kind of like they're not giving a release date. They're just saying, listen, this game is just now in development. That's it. You know, because a lot of devs, I think they give us a release date knowing that it probably won't be done by then, and that's why you have so much delays today. But Kingdom Hearts 3, literally, we've been waiting for this game since last gen. And the fact that we are still waiting for this game, we need to like have some clarity, you know, like with this junk. When can we expect this game? That's all. Like, you know, I hope we see some new gameplay, and just like when can we expect this game? Because this game, man, it just needs to come out, bro. I want to play this game so bad, you know. But moving on. I think, and at first I wasn't too sure because these suckers, and I gotta tip my hat off. Well, I don't got a hat on. I have to tip my hair. I gotta tip my hairline off to you guys because these suckers never quit. These suckers are so loyal and so hopeful that one day this junk will return to PlayStation that I gotta just tip my hairline off to y'all. You know, Crash. I think a Crash collection, a Crash remake will be at this year's E3 for Sony. We all know how, I think it was it E3 or the PlayStation experience last year, to where the dude literally got on stage wearing a Crash shirt, said nothing about bro, that was one of the biggest trolls last year, bro. This man came on stage with the Crash shirt and said, yeah, so going back to VR. I was like, God damn, y'all are trolling the mess out of these Crash fans. But ain't gonna say too much. There's been an Easter egg in a recent game for Crash, and you know, it's having like more and more people think that this is the year that Crash returns to PlayStation. I definitely think, I'll put it like this. If a Crash collection, a Crash remake does happen, I think this is the last year that Crash can possibly, you know, show up at E3. If we don't see nothing Crash related this year, y'all suckers need to drop it. Crash ain't coming back, suckers. So I think this is the last year if Crash was to show up. So that might happen. We all know they're gonna have a whole bunch of VR stuff because the PlayStation VR is set for this October. So expect like a good half an hour of just nothing but VR, you know. So of course they're going to show a whole bunch of VR stuff. I'm still not getting the VR the day it comes out. I'm gonna sit back, let all those day one adopters catch that L, and then make my move after all the hype dies down for VR, and then the real opinions start to come out for it, you know. So that No Man's Sky gameplay, again, No Man's Sky is one of those games to where if it wasn't $60, I'd buy this junk day one, but I am not paying $60 for Exploring Simulator. Like, that's really what it is. Because when we actually seen real gameplay, yeah, you're fighting in ships and stuff like that. But still, we are still asking that same question that we've always had for this game. Okay, all this exploring is cool, but what can you actually do in the game? The fact we're still asking that question tells you this game is nothing but an exploring simulator, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for $60, I don't know. So I probably won't be buying No Man's Sky day one. It definitely is a game I have some interest in, but the whole thing with that is, you know, I just don't know what you can do in the game, and I think it might be possible a VR version of a No Man's Sky as well. And if they do a VR version of No Man's Sky, I think a VR No Man's Sky could be better than, you know, I think a VR version of No Man's Sky will be better than the console version of No Man's Sky. I just think from the experience that you could get with that game with VR would be better than just playing it, you know, on the controller. So I think there could be a possible VR version for No Man's Sky, you know. But so that whole deal. And last but not least, I know people want, you know, to see Red Dead Redemption 2 and stuff like that, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff out there. But there is one thing that I really think is going to happen, and if it does, expect a reaction video. I'm telling you right now, expect a reaction video, because The Last of Us 2, bro. Boy, if that junk is shown, if we get a trailer for The Last of Us 2, bro, lit. I will be all over that junk. It is a rumor out there that The Last of Us 2 will be at this year's E3 for Sony. And if we all know they're done with Uncharted and they're moving on, if Naughty Dog shows The Last of Us 2, oh, you already know I'm gonna be all over that junk. The Last of Us 2, Lord have mercy. Can't wait for it if it shows, you know. So I think that will be a possibility at their conference. Of course, you know, stuff like Battlefield 1, you know, some gameplay for that. Of course, stuff like Call of Duty Infinite Warfare / COD for the real reason why we want this game, you know. And the like 2 million plus dislikes this junk has on its freaking trailer, knowing god dang well those 2 million people that dislike the game gonna be in line at the midnight release to buy this junk day one. But we all know that that's going to that's going to be there. I think some new stuff for Destiny is going to be out there. Despite, you know, what some people think about Destiny, Destiny still has millions of people playing it on a daily basis. So it still has a great fan base behind it. So they might, you know, show some new DLC for that and stuff like that. And I'm just speaking, you know, about these games. I don't think like this is all going to be a part of Sony's part. I'm just saying games that, of course, I think that we can see at this year's E3. Titanfall 2, now that it is coming to the PS4, you Xbox fanboys, man, I'm joking. But Titanfall 2, I think Titanfall 2 this time around is going to be a really good game, because I think, you know, Titanfall, yeah, it didn't live up to the hype, you know, but it was still a good game, and they could have took some stuff, you know, that they did in Titanfall and improved on that in Titanfall 2. So I think that Titanfall 2 this time around is possibly could be a really good title, you know. So that I want to see some more of Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, because that is another title from Ubisoft. By the way, who's still playing the Division? Watch Dogs 2. I think Watch Dogs 2 will be shown at this year's E3. And just like Titanfall, I think they can take some stuff, because Watch Dogs, it gets a bad rap. It wasn't that bad of a game. Was that story trash? Absolutely. Was Aiden Pierce a... You want to talk about a boring character? Look no further than Aiden Pierce. Was he a boring character? Absolutely. But just like Titanfall, I think they can take some stuff that they did in Watch Dogs and use that in the in the next Watch Dogs and improve on a lot of things. I think Watch Dogs 2 will be way better than the first one. So I think Watch Dogs 2 will be there as well. But yeah, so those are just some of the games that I think will be there. Last but not least, Nintendo. Now, if y'all remember my conference that I did last year for Nintendo, one of the hardest conferences to watch, but yet one of the funnest conferences to record my reaction to that conference. But Nintendo, they've been on the record saying NX at this year's E3? Nah, fam. They're unfortunately, there will be no NX. They will not be showing no NX at this year's E3. We have no idea why. I don't know what Nintendo be doing sometimes. How they come to these decisions, but no NX at this year's E3, and we all know it's coming. We want to see what the NX is. People still, have some interest in Nintendo, seeing what they're gonna do with this console, but they say, we're not showing it at we're not showing it at this year's E3. However, what they will show is Zelda. Only one game will be playable at this year's E3 when it comes to Nintendo, and that is the Wii U version of Zelda, which most likely will be like the watered down version of the real Zelda that we will be getting on the NX. So from Nintendo, you can expect no NX and just Zelda for the Wii. How are there? I don't understand how you got Nintendo fanboys that still literally suck off Nintendo. I don't understand it. These suckers. It is so hard to be a Nintendo. I could not be a Nintendo fan. It's too hard. It is way too hard. But somehow, some way, you still got some Nintendo fanboys out there that literally will take a bullet for Nintendo, and I just don't get it, bro. I don't know who the freak knows what Nintendo is thinking right now. No one knows, but that's what you can expect from them until I hear something else. So those are my predictions for this year's E3. I think we will definitely. I think this will be another good year for E3. I think lately, like the past 3 or 4 years for E3 have been really good, so I think this will be another good year for E3. But what are your expectations for E3? What are your predictions for this year E3? Leave that all down in the comment section below, famo. And as always, I greatly appreciate if you rate the video, my brothers and sisters. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up. It could be a thumbs down, but what I do ask every brother and every sweet sisters. Just rate the video, my brothers and sisters. So E3 2016, The Last of Us 2, PS4, PS4.5, Xbox One Slim, some Forza, some Gears, some God of War 4 reveal, maybe a Crash remake, maybe. I think we can expect some good stuff. So see y'all then, suckers. See y'all then.